Hi, I'm Tana. Today I was lucky enough to meet an important guest for our interview from the UK. His name is Ryan Kruger. He has come to Ukraine for the screening of his debut feature film, which has the title Fried Berry, and the short film #Now2 as part of the country's prestigious and first film festival in Ukraine that's called Molodist. Ryan is not only a well-known filmmaker in the field of experimental films, actor, producer, but also a music video maker. He has won a multitude of prestigious international nominations such as SAMA, South African Music Awards, for his work with globally acclaimed rock band Prime Circle. He also managed to claim the top 3 spots in MTV Africa's annual Music Video Awards in 2013. Today, he is known as the top music video director in South Africa and has conceptualized and directed over 100 music videos for SA's most prolific artists. Ryan, we are very pleased to welcome you today with us, and let us start our interview and ask you some questions. Ryan, is it your first time in Kyiv? And what are your impressions of the city from what you see, and what did you like and maybe something not so much?
Yeah, well, I've been here for 10 days now, and first time in Kyiv and Ukraine. But yeah, it's been fun, and I think it's definitely a place that I'll come back to. But yeah, I love one thing I do love is the architecture. It's like all the old school buildings and everything. It's really awesome. I think it'll be amazing to like shoot a film here. And then something I don't like, that's hard. I'll have to think about that.
What can you say about the organizers of the festival Molodist itself compared to other festivals you've been to? Because you haven't experienced, this is not your first festival, right?
Yeah, so I mean, during this whole pandemic, I think we've only actually been to like 3. I've only actually been to 3 festivals, but we've played about 20 festivals. But yeah, I mean, every festival we've played has been great, but Molodist has been awesome.
А в Україні старт літньому сезону подій дав легендарний кінофестиваль «Молодість». Хто з ким та в чому виблискував на церемонії закриття? Дивіться в нашому світському репортажі.
So accommodating, they've looked after me and my producer really well. So yeah, they're just like really nice people that organize it, and I got to come here, which is awesome. But yeah, I mean the whole experience with the festival organizers and watching all the local movies as well, which has been a great interest. So yeah, overall the festival's been awesome, and it's been great that we actually got to stay for the closing of the festival as well.
Yeah, that's true. So maybe you can share with us with your impressions about the difference between the Ukrainian festivals and other that you already joined.
Yeah, I mean, well, the majority of the festivals that Fried Berry's played at, majority of them have been, like very, very genre festivals. But at the same time, there's always been other festivals where I think like Molodist, where, they have that midnight section with the more genre type of films. So yeah, it's not, every festival has its differences with size and everything, but I think it's not so different to the other festivals really, and it's but the Molodist festival is a nice big festival, so and you can see that from the organizing of
Sure.
the opening of the festival and the stage and everybody and all the people. So yeah, it's just I think Molodist has been it was bigger than I expected, which was really nice.
So we are very pleased to hear that in our country that we have big film festivals, and we are very pleased to welcome international representatives, director, guests here. Have you made any new friends and open-minded people in Kyiv? And how do you feel when you leave Ukraine? Because this is your last day, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so yeah, I actually fly back tomorrow. But yeah, I've met lots of great organizers to the festival, which I became friends with, and yeah, and just other filmmakers that's traveled here and other Ukrainian filmmakers. So I mean, all in all, Yeah, it's a great number of people that I'll probably stay in touch with, and I met you as well, so that's been nice. So yeah,
You won't say to the camera
yeah,
then?
it's not nice. Not nice.
Okay, so we know that you make pretty unconventional films. That what makes it so valuable and different from other filmmakers. How have you managed to find your own style, unique, even though the competition is becoming more and more fierce every day?
Yeah, I think as a filmmaker, you've got to find your own voice and your own style, and I think a lot of filmmakers struggle to find that style, their own style, their own identity, and I think with me, for a while now, which I don't even know, but people will watch my work and they'll say, Ryan definitely directed this, and I'm like, how do you know? And they just, no, I don't know why. But yeah, I think it's important to do what you like, and it's important to do what I think the result will always be better on screen. It was I had all these other scripts that I could have chose. I could have chose any of these scripts, and then I thought of the idea for Friar Barry, and maybe all these other films I could have did a really good job at them, but at the same time, what's special about them? So, I could have made it good, but it could have got lost out in the film world with distribution and everything. So when I thought of, the idea for Friar Barry, it's like, this is cool. This is different. There's no way somebody will forget this type of film, and I haven't seen it yet. And that basically, excited me to make this film, and that's why I knew it was the right choice. It was the right movie to make, because I think every filmmaker, it's such a big thing when
Sure.
we choose our first feature film, and most directors were like, oh no, which one should we choose? Or, should we choose this one and this one? And I definitely believe that I made the right decision to make Friar Barry. So that's awesome.
Cool. You said that you had a choice. You had to choose the script, right, for your future feature.
Future
Future feature. But why did you choose the script about the drug addiction?
It just comes down to choosing that right project. So the whole drug addiction thing, it's not the main theme of the movie. The difference between the scripts that I had and the idea that I had, there wasn't a script for Friar Barry. Mm-hmm. And where I was in my career and my personal life, I actually went through like depression and everything. So for me, it was like, the reason why I should go for Friar Barry is because it's different. I haven't seen it before, but on top of that, in 3 days, I wrote a 50% scene brief breakdown. And it was just like, Barry does this, Barry does that, Barry does this. And then, then I rang my producer and I said, which I only knew for about a month, and I said, hey, right, I want to make a movie and I want to make it next month. And the first thing he asked me was, have you got a script? And I was like, no. And I was like, it's a long story, but I'll explain. And then he said, why do you want to shoot it next month? And I was like, well, if we don't shoot it next month, it's never going to happen. It's just going to get pushed back, and then it will never happen. So again, where I was at the time, I needed to do something really creative. So I know with Friar Barry, I could be me. I knew with Friar Barry, I can get super creative where nothing's stuck in concrete. Because most films, this is the script, this is how it is, and this is what we're shooting. So for Friar Barry, even though I wrote that brief scene breakdown, but as we were shooting, the movie was developing, and then I was writing the dialogue, and then I'd be driving from one location to the next. I'd be like, oh, okay, this is a good idea. And I also, did a lot of improv, but the main dialogue that I wrote. But the great organic thing about Friar Barry is those ideas that came up on set. And sometimes, we'd film a scene a certain way, and then I'll be like, oh, I've got a great idea. Why don't we do this? And it'll be totally different.
Yeah.
But it was better. And with normal films, you can't do that. So it was nice to be organic and to live in that moment and be like, okay, let's scrap this and let's do that. And you can't do that with normal films.
Yeah, but you had a freedom, right?
Yeah, and that's super important to do, my style and what I wanted to do, and not think about either the studio or the producers and all that.
You don't have any rules.
Exactly, and that creates you know, that passion and that endless creativity where you're not stuck in a box. So I think with Fry Barry, it was the first thing where I didn't have to worry about anything. You know, I can just free range, you know?
Yeah, because you felt confident, right?
Yeah.
And I think that this is the main point for the person who creates.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Creates with the soul and with heart.
Yeah, and that's what this, like where I was in my life, that's what I needed. So in a way, I'm not depressed anymore, but before the film, I was very depressed. So Fry Barry was that medicine to you know, to fix myself and to put all that hate and all that darkness into the film, all that negative stuff, and yeah, and just embrace it. And sadly, I had to go through that horrible time, but I'm grateful for it because I wouldn't be here. You know?
What did you want to say to the audience through your feature Fry Barry? What is the main idea that you wanted to say?
Fry Barry hasn't got like a really important message behind it. It's just like it's a fun movie. You know, have fun with it. Go into it with an open mind. You know, it's really, the story's simple of Fry Barry. It's about a heroin addict that gets abducted by aliens, and the alien takes his body on a joyride through Cape Town, South Africa. That's it. That's like the story, but it's not really about the story. It's very much about the experience as you go on as Barry. I always say it's like a road movie without the car, but Barry's the car, and you're seeing the world through his eyes, almost as a tourist. It's like basically like an alien tourist. So you know, it's the people that he meets, he's experiencing them, and they're experiencing him. But yeah, it's a movie that you can't take. There's a lot of depth in the movie, but you also can't take it too seriously because it's a crazy, wacky movie. You know, we have bits of horror, bits of sci-fi, dark comedy humor. But yeah, I think it's one of those films that it's definitely not for everybody. You know, you either love it or you hate it. You either get it or you don't. But the more open-minded that you'll go into it, there's a lot of depth. I mean, there's a lot of heart in Fry Barry, and you know, even, you know, talking about the depth of the film, you know, it's, you know, we see a dark side of humanity. We see how crazy society is, and it's not the alien that's crazy, it's us. We're crazy. Like, as humans, we do crazy stuff. So it's you know, it's from like an onlooker, and you know, we're complicated human beings, I think.
That's true.
Yeah.
But you know, after watching your movie, I have mixed feelings. I can't say that I hate it, and I would say that this movie opens for me deep philosophy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have different generations, but now on the contemporary world, like heroin is like top thing that people want to try, or like you know, smoking weed. But after watching your movie, if someone proposed me something to do, I say no.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
there's no way this movie is a pro-drug movie. If anything, it's like, don't take drugs.
Don't take drugs.
Drugs are bad.
Fry Barry, hashtag don't take drugs.
Yeah.
Ryan, could you tell us, please, what do you think are the hot topics in cinema these days, especially if you're applying to film festivals of the first tier?
Yeah, I think you know, as a filmmaker, I'm not actually going to answer that completely, because it's one of those things where everybody has their own journey, everybody has their own style, everybody has their own message that they want to do, and I always say just stay true, you know, to yourself and what interests you and what you like, and the results will always be better. You know, if somebody enjoys something and somebody loves a certain song, or they shoot a music video for a song that they love, you're going to see the results are going to be there more. You know, and it's going to be different if you're directing something of a story that you don't like. So I think just stay true to what you love, and festivals have their different sections of genres and styles of movies at festivals. So I think do what you think is right and what you believe in, and at the same time, I think it's like it's like personal experience. It's like when certain writers, they write because they've experienced something in life, and write what you know, not that I take drugs or anything like that for Fried Barry, but I mean, it's like right what you know. For me, Fried Barry is that genre style of movie that when I was a kid, I loved those type of films. So the 12-year-old kid in me that used to watch all the old school horror films and stuff like that, I would have loved this movie if I watched it when I was a kid. So yeah, so I think do what your heart tells you and do your style, what you want to talk about and what story you want to tell people.
But could you agree that Fried Barry is an art house?
Yeah.
Genre?
It's definitely not a commercial movie, that's for sure.
I know that your feature film and your short film #MeToo could be described as social. Even though it is psychedelic, there is profound philosophy in Fried Barry. What was the reaction of people and jurors at other festivals, not only at the Molodist festival, and what were their comments?
Yeah, it's a lot of the comments was like, what the fuck? It was like, what the fuck? Oops. So,
and this is the right answer.
Yeah. And it with a lot of the festivals that we've been to, we've had a great reception. We've had so many people, hundreds of people reach out to me and thousands of people talking about the film. And as I said, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but whether you like it or not, you will speak about it. And that's cool. Because there's many movies that we watch 10 minutes of and switch it off, or watch a film and go, I'm not going to watch that again, and you tell nobody about the film. So with Fried Barry, it is one of those films, whether you like it or not, you're going to speak about it, you're going to talk about it, and if that person is talking about it, saying, oh, it's had this in it, that somebody goes, that sounds really good, I actually want to watch it. So I think, I mean, it's just been funny, all the different reactions that we've had. We've had some people walk out in some of the crazy scenes in the movie, but as I said, the movie's designed, it's an experience. That's what it's designed for. It's not about the story, it's about the journey, it's about the experience, it's about the feeling, it's about where it takes you. It's like you're on this drug trip watching the movie. So yeah, so the difference between every festival has been very, very similar, and those moments of like, what the fuck. But my main thing when I was writing Fried Barry was that I try my best to be unpredictable. So I think to keep it unpredictable was a major thing for me, because I think the majority of movies that are out now, like, you know the story already. You know the character's struggle, and he's got to meet the girl, and he's got to do. It's like you already know what the most films, how it's going to end. So the lead guy's going to save the day, or he's going to fix his relationship with his wife or his daughter, and then he has to die. So I think it's a common thing now when the thread and the narrative arch of character development, it's like it's predictable.
And that is why it takes part at the festival program, because if we're talking about the film festivals, I think that the most films are at the art house direction.
Yeah.
That is why.
Yeah.
Okay, Ryan, we know that you are an MTV Music AWARDS winner. Can you tell us a little about your experience with musical artists, and where did you start working with them? How did you feel when you won the awards?
Well, I think any award that I win, it's a pat on the back, and it makes you feel that you're doing something right, and there's that bit of recognition. So that's always good. But sometimes you also win awards for videos that you don't like or like, so it's always interesting, where sometimes you'll have like a favorite video and it won't win any awards, and then you have something else, and then you'll get awards for that. So it's always crazy, but I treat every award a pat on the back, and I'm heading in the right direction. My best work of working with music videos really started at 2008, and that's when I headed to South Africa. And the difference between before and after was I was working with bigger productions and bigger artists from when I moved to South Africa, and it's also just having that really great crew around you, instead of me by myself, shooting the music videos like it was in the past, and you try and do everything, and it's never possible, and the project will always fail because of that. So, one of the main reasons of moving to South Africa and was to shoot music videos. So music videos for me has always been that stepping stone to always head towards feature films. But I've always enjoyed music videos. And the majority of the work that I'm known for with music videos is actually less performance and more narrative driven stories within a music video. So it's almost like a short film within a music video. And the cool thing with this is that you can do those cool visuals or short stories, and for me it was always better to shoot a music video and have a short story than a short film. Because it's still a short film, and you can make a short film, you can either take it to festivals, or you can try get into festivals, or you can put it online, or it might be on TV at 4 a.m. when nobody's actually watching. So I think the cool thing as a maybe filmmakers starting out is it's great to shoot music videos, because you'll have an artist and they've already got their viewers, they've already got their fans. So you're already making a product, a video for a band that already exists and already has their followers. So you've already got an audience for your video. So I think that's cool. And at the same time, you can get on MTV or other music channels. And so I think it's more beneficial than a short film, and you don't have to worry about sound.
Yeah, tell us something about the project GTV.
Yeah, so GTV was a project that I filmed like many years ago, and we filmed with probably about 50 major US and UK artists, a lot with like metal bands and punk bands, and it was a great experience. And for me at that time, because I used to shoot those music videos and stuff like that, I was also very into like my metal music back then, and it was the whole program was basically about bands like how you've never seen them before. So it was always partying in hotels, partying in tour buses, partying backstage. So it was like a 3 or 4 year project that we did, which was basically just partying with all these bands doing crazy things. But it was awesome. I got to meet some very talented artists that I admire, some that I admire, and then I met them and I'm like, they're not nice people, or but
show business.
But it was a great time of filming, and it's also another one of those things where it was very, very much like documentary film style. So it was cool just to see these guys living the rock star lifestyle and stuff. So it was awesome. It was cool.
Do you keep in touch with some of the musicians that you worked with in the time of this project?
Some of them, yeah. And I think now it's been a while now, so you move on to other projects and stuff like that. I think here and there, like I'll reach out to some of them, or some of them will reach out to me. But yeah, it's been a while now, so you end up getting busy doing other projects, and it's just like, and then when it's like with any project, you look back on and go, I can do way better than that now. So it's a part of the stepping stones, and building your brand or knowledge or experience.
There were some well-known music artists you made backstages with them. What the artists?
There was many artists. I mean, we filmed with bands like we filmed with Sid, the DJ from Slipknot, or we filmed with Misfits or Black Flag. We filmed with Juliette Lewis and the Licks. We filmed with Kill Switch Engage. There was tons. There was tons of bands, but all very different, all cool in their ways and stuff like that. But yeah, it was just an awesome time to film with these bands, and also watch all these bands perform as well. So I mean, it was always right. We're going to watch the band, watch them perform, and then now backstage afterwards, and then they've finished the evening of work, so now it's just like party time.
Yeah.
So it was awesome.
We know you're from the UK, but today you live in South Africa. Does the film and music industry markets differ between the two countries? If so, in what way?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, most people that's in the movie business, music business, I think everybody always thinks England and America. You know, I think most people think that's where you go to make it, and which I don't think is true at all. I think, you know, you're only as good as what you do and the work that you do, and if you don't, you know, if you're not in competition with overseas stuff, then you're not in competition. You know, I think there's so many people in certain countries that they're in competition with their friends that live down the street or another production company, and it's stupid. And I think at the end of the day, if you're not making high standard stuff, then you're not in it to win it. You're not in competition. So yeah, I think every place is different, and for me, you know, obviously England is a big place for movies and music and everything, and South Africa, the local industry is a lot smaller, but we're also like a big for a service country where we have a lot of international commercials that get shot in Cape Town. We have a lot of international TV series and movies that get shot there. So for me, it's like back in the day, you know, I had my acting work that I did, and I had my kind of directing work that I did at the time, and I had 3 other jobs that I would do, and it was more of a hobby. So over the years, I would travel to South Africa, and then I would shoot a music video, or I'd get an acting part, and then I go back to England, and then I'm thinking, well, I'm working more in South Africa than I am in England. So it actually just made, it just made sense. So, and even the acting work that I was doing in South Africa, it was all for international. It was all for international movies and TV. So it wasn't like I was just working on local content where nobody else in the world will see it. So so it was just it's just like if you go to like America, you've got a book like this big of casting directors. And the thing is, it's impossible to make a relationship with all those casting directors. And in South Africa, we have like 6 main casting directors that do all the main TV and films that get shot there, which is nothing. So I have a personal relationship with, the majority of the casting directors. So with the style and the stuff that I do when it came to directing, it was also very different, and the industry is smaller, so it was easier to get out there and to get my name. So I definitely wouldn't have been able to achieve what I've achieved in South Africa if I lived in England. It would have been more difficult. And it's like it's like with Fry Barry, making this film. I mean, I don't believe that anybody should go to the States or the UK unless they've got a great deal of work behind them, because at the end of the day, we need content. You as a singer or an actor or a director, you need that content behind you, and if you haven't got that, your word's not good enough.
Yeah, that's true.
This is what actually really counts. So that I think that was the thing in South Africa. It's to really build your portfolio and to actually get your work out there. And then it's like that saying, it's like, everybody always says, it's who you know in the industry to get you in. And, I don't believe in networking to an extent. And the reason why I say that is just like, I can meet somebody and somebody can say, they can talk to me about a lot of films, and they go, they've got a great deal of knowledge. And then I'll be like, so what have you done? Like, I haven't done anything yet, but I'm really good. And then you just think, well, you haven't got anything to show.
Yeah.
So it's not who you know, it's who knows you. And I think that's the important thing, is when people know your work. And that's the thing, but we all have to start somewhere.
Sure.
Everybody has to start somewhere, whether you're making short films and music videos, and you build. It's a part of, I'm a firm believer in that 10,000 hours. It's like once you do that 10,000 hours, you should be good at what you're doing. But then you also get filmmakers that have been doing it for a long time and they don't progress. And I think, anybody that is good at what they do, you should be learning. You should be still learning as time goes on. And it's like now, when I discover something new or different, I'm like, whoa, cool! I didn't know that, and I get excited because I've learned something new. And I think that's important. You can always, doesn't matter how old you are. I think it's great to know know what you do. It's just like any other job, and whether it's in the industry or not, it doesn't matter. It can be any job in the world. You either study for that job, and whether you go to university or film school, it doesn't matter. You can sit on Google and you can find out all this information and learn it, and I think that's your knowledge, and that's the only way you're going to grow. And that's why I always say to people starting out, it's all right to make mistakes. It's good. Like, if you're going to make mistakes now, because when you get to a certain point, like where I am, like, I can't make mistakes anymore. So it's good to make those mistakes so you can learn from it and challenge yourself doing certain things so you can grow and be better and have that knowledge.
Ryan, you are a very versatile and talented person. You have achieved success in different roles and genres, both in acting and as a director of feature films and short films, music videos. I would like to ask you, what is closer to your heart? What do you like more, acting, directing movies, or making music videos?
Yeah, well, it would definitely. I mean, the big dream has always been to direct movies, and music videos I really enjoy, but they were always a stepping stone, to head towards feature films. So it would definitely be feature films, but acting I also enjoy. I mean, I started out as an actor first, and I've always enjoyed that. And I work a lot as an actor, and there's over the years many people will say, which one if you had to choose, and I was like, I don't have to choose, I'll do both. So when I'm not directing, I can do acting, but I'll always enjoy it. The difference for me is that you can't control your acting career. You go to an audition, you either get it or you don't.
Yeah.
So you can't control it. And at least with directing, I can make my own content, and I can write my own stories, and I can shoot stuff and get stuff made. So for me, I have more control over my directing career. And with actors out there, it's hit and miss every time. If I think about the thousands of auditions that I've ever done, and the amount of work that I've actually booked, and I've booked a lot of jobs, but nowhere near as much as the auditions that you go to, and that's it. It's hit and miss, and I think you got to have that hard skin, to do that, and it's cool. I enjoy it. So I mean, it's like every actor, we want to, if somebody says, if you had that one role, which role would you like to play? And they go, oh, I'd like to play this, and the chances are, you ain't never going to audition for that role. So at least at the same time, when I do directing, if I want to put myself in something small, in something that I do, then I can do that. Nothing big, but just like something small. So I definitely have more creative choice and expectations of what I can do.
Yeah. Coming back to acting, which roles you played are more closer to you and you'd like most?
Well, working on every project, it's always different, and I think that's the great thing about filmmaking. Whether you're actor or director, it's always different. It's always completely something different. For me, I'm very much a character actor. So the crazier the character or the weirder the character, it's normally better for me, because I always play like the bad guy, or I play like the geeky guy or the funny guy. So yeah, quite a few years ago, I played like an American hillbilly.
And the next time, I'm taking you down. Okay, calm yourself, buddy. I'm gonna go now. Just calm yourself.
It was like a post-apocalyptic movie called Last Broken Darkness, and I had these like fake teeth, this like long black hair and this black beard and everything, and it was just cool. It was just like a cool character. And what was fun about that role was that it was this like southern hillbilly American character, but it's one of those things that's like, when it doesn't look like me, I'm like, cool, that's good. So if it doesn't look like me, it doesn't sound like me, then I'm like, okay, cool. I think I did a good job. And as I said, with that, I just looked completely different. And what was awesome about that movie was I actually played two characters in that same movie. So when I auditioned for that movie, very talented director Christopher DeSantos, he said to me, you know, there's 2 roles that you can audition for, or he asked me which roles, and I picked 2 roles. So I sent him an audition self-tape, and one was a soldier that was meant to be American, but I made him like English Cockney character, and then the other one was that Southern hillbilly. So for the English Cockney guy, for the soldier, I made him English, so it was totally different. And then when it came to the Southern hillbilly guy, I put these like fake teeth in, I messed up my hair, I put like dirt on my face, and then I sent him the you know, the audition tape, and he watched them and he was like, shit, this is like really good, like you can do both of the parts. I was like, what? And he goes, you can do them both. And I was like, you sure? And he's like, yeah, you look totally different,
like
you sound
black and
totally
white.
different, and it was just like, yeah, it was just completely different. So he gave me both of the roles. So when you watch the movie, you know, you see this one character in it quite a lot, and then he goes out of the movie, and then the other character comes in. So yeah, it was awesome. So it was great to be versatile and play those two different characters. But I think that bad guy character was just fun. It was just like a fun character, and also the people that I was working with were like great friends, so we just had like a lot of fun making that project.
What does football mean to you?
Well, that's the thing, you know, when we go to the matches, we can get all rowdy and everything, can't we, Tom? Can't we? We get rowdy, yeah? But when you go to the matches, it's not just about the football. You know, it's about being with your mates and being with the lads and having a few pints at the pub, or even if we're at home watching telly or at the match.
What character did you like?
Yeah, probably that character.
That character.
Yeah, that character.
What are you doing? What? Are you the chef now, are you? Putting salt in it? Already put fucking salt in it? Get out the way.
It was just fun. It was just fun, and that's why I'm saying if it doesn't look like me, it doesn't sound like me, then I'm like, cool, that's good. It's like if you go to a friend's party, or somebody has a video and you look back on it and you get
all the bad qualities of that person.
Yeah, and then on the day you're like, oh, I think I look good today and everything. And you look back and go, oh,
That's
like,
not me.
That's not me. So when it comes to acting, if it doesn't sound like me, it doesn't look like me, I'm like, cool, that's all right. And that's the thing, when people watch the movie, they congratulated me on the other role and not in this role. And I always said, well, which role? And they were like, oh, the soldier. And I was like, yeah, but it was the other guy as well. And they're like, what? So that's cool. So for me, it's nice when it's just abstract.
So it means that you're a very professional actor, that you can show your another side.
Yeah, I'd like to think so.
Ryan, I know that you played the role of Biffa, the army chief, in the BBC comedy show Bluestone 42, which took place in Afghanistan. Tell me please, in real life, do you know how and like to cook delicious food?
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, when I shot Bluestone 42, it was cool. Like we actually shot it in Cape Town, but it was set in Afghanistan. But the funny thing is, I played a Scouser, which is Scousers from Liverpool.
Yeah.
Which is probably the only time I've ever played like a really hardcore Liverpool person from my home city. So I think that was like really fun doing that. Because I played a chef, I think I've been typecasted as a chef because I think I've played at least like 4, maybe 5 chefs before, whether it's in commercials.
Wait.
But the general likes it salty.
Don't give a shit if he likes it salty. You're gonna have to break it now, I'll make it thicker.
Yeah, but you're doing it all wrong there, chef. It's the way he likes it.
Who are you talking to? I'm gonna jab you in your little fucking Shirley Temple in a minute.
I think my dad just taught me at an early age. So I love cooking like curries or chilies or Chinese, and or good lasagna. You know, I'll have my one friend. I'll be like, he was visiting me from England, and he was in South Africa, and he'd be like, oh, can I help you do anything? I'll be like, oh, okay, cool, cut this onion. And then he'll have like a butter knife trying to cut this onion. I'm like, dude, just leave it. I'll do it.
I'll do it myself,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. So,
cool. How was it working with Sacha Baron Cohen during the filming of Grimsby Brothers?
Grimsby, listen up, this is important. You see that lass over there?
What? Sharon Osbourne?
No, she's going to release this deadly virus, and it's going to kill poor people like us, because she thinks that we are scum.
Bloody hell, Nobby, we are scum.
Well, you are, Pete. You're a registered sex offender. That's not a compliment.
yeah, I mean, yeah, working with Sacha Baron Cohen was great. He's one of those guys that you know, I started watching like when I was really younger, when you know, when he did like Ali G and Borat and stuff like that. So very yeah, he's like a comedy genius. He was such a super nice guy, very intelligent, and yeah, it was just awesome to see, you know, somebody of his stature, to you know, the way he works and stuff like that.
I lost him forever. I'm useless.
You are not useless. Who's the man who can get me pregnant without even waking me up?
Me.
Who's the man who's never even read a book?
Me.
And who's the man who had sex with me in a police station without even getting arrested?
That wasn't me.
Oh, never mind that.
But yeah, we got on really well. The part was, you know, only a small part, but at the same time, it ended up assisting him because of I had to do this like Yorkshire accent, so he wanted to hear the accent the whole time.
Could you
so,
say something with
no,
this accent?
no, I hate it when people say that. No, but it was a great experience, and it was also yeah, just interesting. Like sometimes, a lot of the time, I would have to stay in character, so he could stay in character and stuff. So I mean, doing that was like awesome, and it was still, there was many days that went by that I was just like hanging out with him, and I was also like, oh, it's so crazy that we're just I'm hanging out with Sacha Baron Cohen. So, but super nice guy, and very talented, and very, like I said, very intelligent guy.
So that was such a nice experience for you.
Yeah, no, definitely.
You will remember
cool.
this, your...
Yeah, definitely.
I'm prick. So we knock on the door like two fucking regular guys. Next thing, boom, this kid shoots off two fucking holes right through the fucking door. Could have been anybody. Could have been the fucking postman. Mitch over here, he must have fucking shot himself because I could smell it like a fucking mile away. Anyway, so this kid, he fucking bolts. He just fucking runs off. We chased this kid like 2 fucking blocks, all the way past Jimmy's place, right down by the docks. Now I'm fucking done. I smoke way too fucking much. My heart's pounding like a fucking racehorse. Next thing, Mitch has got him covered. It's a fucking dead end. This fucking kid's going fucking nowhere. Then the next thing, bam, he fucking shoots right through this fucking fence. I swear to God, it was like one of those fucking cartoons. That's the whole fucking shape of this fucking kid. Even his fucking ears. Swear to God, biggest fucking ears you've ever fucking seen.
How was it working on the set of the new Cinemax series, Barrier, where you played an Irish guy, Gareth?
Yeah, so I think I ended up working on like 6 episodes, I think, or 7 episodes. I can't actually remember. But yeah, it was one of those series where it was actually based on writings from Bruce Lee, where he wrote this big story back in the day, and now his daughter Shannon Lee, teamed up with these writers to make this TV series. So for me, also a major fan of Bruce Lee growing up, so it was just awesome to be a part of it. And even though my role was very small and I came in and out of it as this barman, it was just an awesome experience, and so many talented actors, so many talented stunt coordinators and fighters, and even the studios and everything that they built for like Chinatown and everything was just like huge. It was like,
wow.
It was awesome. It was just amazing. But yeah, and I think they're actually coming back for like season 3 now. I think I think in the next year they're coming back for season 3. But it's so I actually haven't watched it yet, but I've heard like lots of good stuff about it. I've just been so busy, but it looks awesome, and I will get round to watching it. And as I said, there's so many people talking about it a lot. So and you could see it was one of those things. It was while you were watching it getting filmed, this is good. This is going to be really cool. So just to be a small part of that, and to be connected to Bruce Lee in some way, as growing up loving Bruce Lee, that's like awesome.
What are your future plans?
Yeah, so right now, with doing a lot of press tour for Fry Barry, and basically it's come to the end of the festival run now, and it's already being distributed around the world, which is great. So yeah, it's starting to look at other projects. So in August I start shooting my new film, which I can't say too much about, but yeah, I'll be shooting that in the next few months. And yeah, and then moving on from there, I'm probably just before shooting that, I've been working on a 4.5-year project making 8 experimental films. So I've still got like 2 experimental films in post that I'm going to start editing when I get back to South Africa. And yeah, I'll be doing those, so you can keep a lookout for the new experimental films, and soon shooting the new feature film.
Cool. Cool, but why experimental?
Why experimental?
Yeah.
Well, it's going back to the same thing with Friar Barry, just being out of the box, and also no rules, that you don't have to kind of have a begin, middle, and end. It can be a feeling, it can be a scene, and I think you get to be really creative, and it can be very visual. So to have no rules and not have to think of a narrative structure, and like I said, it can just be a weird feeling or a weird tone, and that's what Friar Barry started out as. It started out as a 3-minute experimental, and it was almost like a drug PSA was like, don't fucking do drugs, when people watch it. So yeah, and it was also with Meow too. There is a story there, but it's more visual, and a lot of these experimentals that I'm making will have like no dialogue. It's more of a feel, it's more of an experience. Cool. And if it has dialogue, it might have like one line, but that's the other thing, is you don't always need to you don't always need to have dialogue to show a story. It can be very visual, just like a music video.
Ryan, thank you for this great and warm conversation with you, and it was a treasure time with you, and I hope that it was not our last meeting, and we wish you new victories on your professional and creative path.
Okay.
So, and
it's like this long.
I wish you really all the best in your creative and professional path. Thank you for this great interview.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
And I don't say goodbye, I say see you later.
See you later.
Yeah, thank you.